Johnny Dollar.
Johnny, this is Don Regal at Worldwide Mutual. Or at least I would be if the fog weren't so dark this afternoon.
San Francisco.
Right.
One of my favorite towns.
Go on. I'll bet you say that to every city in the United States.
No, I mean it. I have some real fond memories.
Oh, yeah? Who is she, Johnny?
I mean memories of nice, big, fat fees. You know, Don, every case I've handled in that fair city of yours over the years has paid me very nicely. How about this one, Don?
Let's wait and see, huh?
What's the problem?
Man missing.
Anybody I might know?
Well, I doubt it. His name is Harvey Lehman. And, Johnny, I find we have the gentleman insured to the tune of exactly $250,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, Don. I'm on my way.
The CBS Radio Network brings you Mandel Kramer in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator,
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Worldwide Mutual Insurance Company San Francisco office. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the buyer and the seller matter. Item 1, after a quick early dinner, is $6 for a cab out to Bradley Field, and item 2, $175.70 plane fare. It was quite late by the time we set down at San Francisco International Airport, so item 3 is another $6 for a taxi into the Huntington Hotel, high on famous Nob Hill, where from my window I could look out over Telegraph Hill and Chinatown, Fisherman's Wharf, the Embarcadero, and other familiar spots of this wonderful, colorful city. First thing in the morning, I dropped in on Don Regal at his office right near station KCBS that carries these reports of mine on CBS Radio every week. You know, come to think of it, the last time I was in San Francisco, a couple of them in at KCBS helped me solve an important arson case.
Yeah, I remember that one, Johnny. Where are you staying this trip?
Over at the Huntington, as usual.
Well, I hope you didn't bother to unpack your bag.
No, why?
Well, you may have a little more traveling to do.
What do you think I did to get out here? Had my way, I'd stick around and enjoy this town of yours for a little while.
Well, no reason why you shouldn't. You can come back after you've cleared up this case for us. And believe me, I hope you can, Johnny.
What's it all about, Don?
Well, as I told you on the phone, the man's name is Harvey Lehman. As I also told you, he's disappeared.
And if somebody's knocked him off, you'll have to pay a nice hunk of insurance.
Yeah, exactly $250,000. But if that man ever had an enemy, I'm crazy as a bedbug.
Well, I've always suspected that. Who's the beneficiary?
His wife, Doris Lehman.
They've been getting along all right?
To be honest with you.
Uh-oh, here we go again.
Oh, no, wait a minute, Johnny. Don't start jumping to any fancy conclusions.
Why not? That's a lot of money.
Yeah, sure it is. But Harvey Lehman is only 48, 49.
All right, so why wait around for him to grow old and die before
collecting? No, Johnny. What I mean is that he has a good business going and will be worth a lot more over the years than any hunk of insurance is now.
Even 250 G's?
Even that.
Even if it means putting up with him over the years?
Well, any putting up with it, Johnny, I'd say is on his part.
How do you mean?
Well, Lehman's a real solid, hard-working citizen who's so completely straight and decent that, well, he's the sort that other folks often take advantage of, especially his wife.
Yeah?
Domineering. She's overpowering. And while he's working, she's spending, and not on him or his house, anything like that, mind you, but on her own selfish self.
Well, then you've just opened up possibility number 2.
That he's disappeared deliberately to get away from her?
Sure.
No.
Why not?
Well, he's simply not the type. And there's a stubborn streak in him, Johnny, and I'm sure he'd keep trying to make a go of it in the hope that she'd get over this extravagance and nagging one day, and, well, I just don't think he'd give up. I know he wouldn't run away.
Maybe. Maybe not.
I'm sure of it.
How long ago did he disappear? By the way, what sort of business is he in?
Well, he's a buyer, Johnny. I guess you'd call him a commission buyer.
Oh, buyer of what?
Well, antiques, that sort of thing. You want a giant ruby from some ancient Persian idol, Lehman would get it for you if anyone could. Or the suit of armor that King Arthur wore. Or even a whole room from some Scottish castle. You know that sort of thing.
Uh-huh.
Well, anyhow, he left here just a week ago.
A week ago?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that means a pretty cold trail.
Yeah, I know. He told his wife he was going down to Los Angeles, to Beverly Hills to be exact, to see a man. Told her he'd be back the following day. But he wasn't.
Any reason why he couldn't have just stayed over for a while?
Well, look, Johnny, if Lehman said he'd show up at 9:16 on Tuesday morning, he'd be there at 9:16 on Tuesday morning on the nose. Not a minute sooner, not a minute later.
That kind.
Yeah, that kind. Anyhow, Johnny,